Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the pattern of the sample paper being released by CBSE for computer science for a new syllabus of Python. I will be also talking about the analysis of each question one by one, specifically talking about where and how each question has been taken and what is the possibility of the questions coming up in the board exam considering them topic wise. Last, I will be talking about the blueprint. But the most important thing over here, which I have found while analyzing this paper, is that this sample paper is not exactly matching with the syllabus criteria or the marks weightage as recommended by CBSE. So there is a big gap between what the CBSE has given as a syllabus and what has been released as a sample paper. So keeping in mind of both the things, the syllabus as well as the sample paper released, what is the possibility of coming up of each question in your upcoming board exams? I will be talking about that also. So please watch the whole video till the end. As CBSE has released the sample paper along with the marking scheme and the solution answer key of that paper, so I am not talking about the answers of each questions over here because that is not my aim to focus in this video. I will be talking about how the paper has been designed and what all are expected in your upcoming board exam. First of all, if we see the complete paper, it is divided into two parts clearly, part A and part B. Part A will be considering two sections, section A, section 1 and section 2. Section 1 will be completely an objective type question paper where it will cover one word answers, one line answers, or maybe MCQ, true, false, fill ups. All these questions will be appearing. Now what topics they are covering, these questions are being covered in section 1 from your complete syllabus from all three major units, that is your Python, your networking and MySQL. There will be 21 questions in this section, out of which 15 questions are compulsory. That means you have a choice of 6 questions over here. Out of 21, you have to attempt only 15. So you have a choice of 6 questions, which one to do and which one is not to be done. But yes, section 1 is compulsory. All the parts, all the sections are compulsory in the exam. So I'll be talking about section one by one in this pattern, and then we will talk about the question analysis and blueprint. So when we talk about section 1, it is composed of 15 marks because you have to do only 15 questions out of these 1 marker questions, and the whole syllabus is being covered here. In the next part, section 2 of part A, it is covering 2 case studies. Each case study is carrying 4 marks. There will be 5 questions in each case study, out of which you will have to do only 4. That means both the case studies are compulsory. It will be in the form of question number 22 and question number 23. Question number 22 case study will be from MySQL as per the CBSE pattern. So you have to make sure that when you are preparing MySQL, you have to prepare it in such a way that a table or a relation, maybe 1 or 2 tables will be given to you, and accordingly on the basis of those tables given to you, those relations given to you, you will be provided with 5 queries. Out of these 5 queries, you will have to attempt any 4 queries. So this is case study number 1. Another case study number 2, which will be coming as question number 23, will be from CSV file handling. So again, a situation is given, and on the basis of that situation, on the basis of that question, there will be 5 questions. Now that 5 questions can be in the form of fill-ups, can be in the form of blanks, can be in any form. But out of those 5 questions, all based on that CSV file problem which is being given to you, you will have to answer any 4. So these are not descriptive answers, these are short answers. So part A is completely short question answers or objective type. So they are not expecting you to write down long answers or explanatory questions or differences or definitions. But yes, they are very specific one-liner questions. But I believe that this portion is a scoring portion. So if we consider the marks weightage of this part A, that will be completely of 23 marks. 15 plus 4 plus 4 is 23 marks. Now, coming on to part B. Part B is a descriptive paper which will be of 3 sections. Now 3 sections are divided according to the marks. Section 1 in part B will be 2-marker questions. Section 2 will be 3-marker questions, and section 3 will be 5-marker questions. In coming on to section 1 in part B, descriptive questions, there will be 10 questions. And all 10 questions are compulsory. From question number 24 to 33, all 10 questions will be compulsory. But yes, between these questions, out of these 10 questions, 2 questions will be given to you with an internal choice. That means, let us suppose, say question number 27. It will be having 2 parts. So you have to do either the part 1 or part 2 of question number 27. But yes, all the questions are compulsory. If we talk about the syllabus part, it is covering the whole syllabus out of your complete class 12 CBSE syllabus. Question number 3, section 2, that is 3-marker questions. There will be total 4 questions given to you. Now, out of these 4 questions, all 4 are compulsory. But yes, out of these 4 questions, 2 questions will be having the internal choices. It's like all 4 questions you have to do, but within the 4 questions, a choice will be given to you. These 4 questions will be from list, text files, MySQL, and stack. So data structure is covered. 1 question from data structure, 1 question from MySQL, 3-marker question, 1 question from text file handling, and 1 question from list. All these 4 questions of 3 marks each. So it is covering 4 questions of 3 marks each, so 12 marks. Now the last section will be 5-marker questions, and there will be 3 questions of 5 marks each. And it is very well defined that these 5 questions, these 5-marker questions will be from question number 38 to 40. So 3 questions will be given. 1 question will be for binary file handling. Another question will be from MySQL, and a third question will be from network. We all must understand here that in binary file handling, it will be expected from us to write down a program where 2 methods they will be asking you to write down, which will be covering 5 marks. In MySQL, again, it will be a descriptive paper. So yes, they will be asking you questions, a difficult little portion, basically depending upon the joins or group by clause. That portion is also covered here. And the last one is the networking. That is a layout question. In layout question, again, five questions will be asked, each question of 1 mark each. Till last previous papers, there used to be a last question of network which used to carry 4 marks. So 4 questions used to be there. But now the weightage has increased from 4 to 5. So network layout question will be of 5 marks, which with 5 internal questions. But when we talk about these 3 parts of the questions, these 3 major questions, it is expected in the sample paper the choice is given in the binary file handling, and I'm assuming that in the final paper also this internal choice will be given in binary file handling only, because that is the most difficult part for the student's point of view to handle this question. MySQL question is a query based question, so the child, there are very less chances that the student is going to lose all the marks. So out of 5, the student is able to do 3 or 4, so still the student is on the safe side. Similarly, on the network layout question, it is easier for student to score even if they do not know the complete question. But yes, in binary file handling, if the student is having not clarity about the topic, then there are chances that the student might lose all 5 marks completely. So a relief has been given by the CBSE, which I am expecting the same relief will be given in CBSE final exam also, where there will be a choice between 2 questions of binary files, out of which one you will be expected to do. So this is all about the pattern. Next, we will be talking about the questions analysis one by one. Let's do the analysis of the complete paper, sample paper of CBSE, one by one for each and every question given here. Let me start from the bottom over here. I will be starting from 5-marker questions. You can see here, as I told you, that there will be 5 3-marker questions. One is a network layout question, the pattern of which can be seen from the previous papers also of CBSE. It is not a new question in computer science, but yes, many new topics have been added into the network layout question, which must be considered that they will be definitely being asked. Again, a MySQL question will also be not a new pattern for them. So a relation will be given to them, and based upon that, queries will be given. Obviously, a difficult part will be touched over here. For example, your joins and your group by clauses. But yes, it is a scoring portion for a student. The third one is the 5 marker question, which is binary file. So this question will be provided with a choice in which you will be expected to define two functions in each choice. So either you do choice number 1 or you do choice number 2, whatever choice you are attempting. In both the choices, two functions will be given to you which you have to define based on the binary file handling. Now coming on to 3 marker questions. 3 marker questions, as I told you, there will be 1, 2, 3 and 4 questions, and out of 4 questions, 2 questions will be having the internal choice. Now you can see here that the internal choice is given in the text file handling. As the choice is being given here in binary file, similarly the choice is given here in text file handling. So CBSE will be keeping it in mind that the students are being given the relaxation of choosing a question in text file handling only. It's very specifically mentioned over here that the all these 4 questions are compulsory. For example, the one question will be from list program, and yes, that program will be on a little difficulty, higher difficulty level. It will not be very easy question, so a lot of practice is needed for the students to try a hand on difficult portions of list programs. Then the next question is of text file handling with the choice. It will be a 3 marker question. The next question will be of 3 marks again from MySQL, which is covering the difficult portion, joins, group by, aggregate functions and all. So this, the students must concentrate that if they want to score marks here, they must have a good hand of practice on these portion. And the fourth question will be on data structures. Data structures, we all know, it is a stack and queues. During the lockdown, relaxation has been given to the students to attempt only stacks, but later on in the coming years, there are both stacks and queues will be compulsory for the students. So a question will be given here. So might be in future the students will get a choice either to attempt a stack question or a queue question. But yeah, during this exam of 2020-21, the choices will be given in 2 questions. I'm expecting that the both the questions will be from stack only, because queues are omitted for the particular year. So out of these 2 questions, you will have to do only one. So you have to prepare your stacks very carefully. Now coming on to 2 marker questions, there will be 10 2 marker questions. Out of these 10 2 marker questions, all 10 are compulsory. So you can see here that all the chapters are being covered over here. But yes, depending upon the topics, the difficulty level has been decided over here. For example, in a 2 marker question, a networking question is being given here with a choice, and then a particular topic of scope of a variable and a function, local, enclosed, etc., or actual formal parameters. If in this topic the choice has been given, but we cannot be very sure here whether in my final exam also for CBSE coming board exams, whether this choice will be given in this specific topic only, because these 2 choice based questions are, we can say, fluid. They may be given to any other topic also. But yes, I have mentioned here that 2 marker questions are covering these topics. There will be certainly some questions from operators and expressions. There will be certainly a question from networking. Abbreviations in networking are very common questions. It will be a 2 marker question. Then the scope of the variables, actual formal parameters, the basic concepts of the functions and variables is covered here. So that will be a 2 marker question. Error finding question is a very common question in CS. So definitely it takes a place in a 2 marker question. Random function, definitely it is going to come, 100% it is going to come. It will be again in a 2 marker question. Then a theory portion of a little bit of MySQL is being covered here. MySQL connectivity based questions are being covered here. You must note here that MySQL connectivity is given for the projects. Students are expected to develop a project either using the CSV file handling or using MySQL connectivity as the backend and the front end as the Python. So because this topic is being taught to the students for the project point of view, but yes, in your theory paper, a little bit portion of this connectivity will be asked. So few methods they may ask you, few arguments of a particular function they may ask you, which is related to connectivity. So there is a big chance of a 2 marker question in your final exams also from MySQL connectivity. Then MySQL theory again. Then strings and functions. We have all learnt strings in class 11th, and output based question based on strings, output based questions based on functions. This is definitely going to come as a 2 marker question. So basically, if we see our sample paper, all the basic concepts, too many topics which are important, they have been covered here very systematically. So you have to consider all these things into your mind and prepare for your paper accordingly. Now, coming on to 2 case studies, I have already told you these 2 case studies are being covered up as 4 marks each. Both of them are compulsory. Both of them will be having 5 questions, out of which 4 are needed to be attempted. One will be from MySQL and another will be from CSV file handling. So you can see here that file handling has been covered here in 4 marker question. File handling has been covered here in text, in the form of text files, in a 3 marker question, and file handling has been covered here in a 5 marker question also. So all the file handling, whether it's binary file, CSV file, or text files, all three are included in your paper. So you must have a good hand of practice on file handling in your coming exams. Remaining is the 1 marker question. These 21 questions are the 1 marker questions. So all these topics are being covered here: identifying the valid or invalid identifiers, slicing, the concept of class 11, we can say, slicing of a list, strings, or any iterable object. You have to prepare it well. And then class 11 revision tour, then 1 marker questions based on operators and expressions, again many small topics based on class 11 tour. Then Python libraries, based on that topic a question will be asked over to you. Then computer network protocols, so many protocols are there in computer network. There are big chances where they may ask you a direct question, or maybe a situation will be given to you where you have to identify that in this situation which protocol can be used. Then a topic of cyber crime is also being covered over here. MySQL has been repeatedly covered over here. Networking, small questions, 1 marker question are again covered here. These questions you can see that they are repeatedly being asked. So 1 marker question are a scoring question. These are, and then again you have a choice also. But if we analyze this paper unit wise, if we analyze this paper unit wise, then you can see here that out of let us start from the bottom. Unit 3, that is MySQL. MySQL is having a 5 marker question. MySQL is having a 3 marker question. MySQL is having 2 questions of 2 marks each. Then MySQL also has a 4 marker case study. It also has a 4 marker case study. Sorry, by mistake I have written here as unit 1. It must be unit 3. So let me rectify it. Unit 3. And now let me sort it again. So you can see here that MySQL has been covered here as a 4 marker. In 2 markers, 2 questions, in 3 markers, in 5 markers, and then 1 marker questions are also, a lot of questions are there. So MySQL is going to play a very vital role in your performance in your class 12th. But yes, there is one very important observation which we are going to understand and realize in the blueprint of the paper. Let us come to the unit 2. This is unit 1, random function. This is also unit 1. Sorry for these mistakes. Okay. So we can see here that all these networking based questions are covered here basically in 2 marker or 1 marker question only. Besides that, there is one 5 marker case study. So one 5 marker layout question case study is given. Besides that, small questions based on networking is given to you, covering the whole of the networking. Remaining, the whole paper is from unit 1 only. You can see here as the unit 1 is having a lot of questions, and accordingly which topics may have a choice all the topics are also written here very clearly, so that you have an idea of which topics must be given important weightage. If we talk about the syllabus and the marking scheme as per the CBSE, the computational thinking and programming carries 50 marks, computer networks carry 10 marks, and MySQL carries 10 marks again over here. That is the weightage of CBSE as per their CBSE syllabus. Now let us compare this syllabus breakup with the sample paper in the blueprint. On the basis of the question analysis, I have filled the marking scheme over here. As you can see here, that the total marks are coming out as a 76, but my theory paper is of 70 marks. But I told you that there is a choice of 6 marks over here. Out of 21, we have to do only 15 questions. So 6 marks question is a choice. So those extra 6 marks are being reflected over here. So that is 76 marks paper is given to you, out of which you have to attempt only 70 mark paper. And this 6 marks choice is given to you only in one marker question. Now coming on to the topics unit wise, I have shown you that MySQL carries 6 questions of 1 mark each. If we come to the case studies, uh, let us talk about MySQL first. It will be having 6 questions of 1 marker as per the sample paper. There is 1 question of 4 mark that is in the case study. There are 2 questions of 2 marks each. There is a 1 question of 3 marks in the sample paper, and there are again 5 marker questions. One question of 5 marks again in MySQL. So if we count the total marks weightage of MySQL over here as per these distribution of the sample paper, the total weightage comes out to 22. That is a very surprising figure, because as per the CBSE, the weightage of MySQL should be 10 marks, but here in the sample paper, the weightage of MySQL is given as a 22 marks. So there is a big variation between the syllabus of CBSE pattern and the sample paper released. If we think of the board paper is coming as per the sample paper being released, then it will be a good situation or a happy situation for the students, because throughout these many years of my personal experience, I have realized that the students find MySQL part comparatively easier and scoring, and that is, they are the sure short questions for them where they hardly lose any marks. So if the weightage is being increased in MySQL, then they are obviously on the safe side. But the concern over here is, what if CBSE strictly follows this pattern as per the CBSE syllabus? Maybe the CBSE sample paper has not been analyzed in that form. So you have to be little careful about being so casual about MySQL. There are many topics in our syllabus which are not being touched over here. For example, searching sorting techniques, binary search, and sorting, all these techniques, all these programs, all these concepts are not being touched anywhere. So if we talk about the total marks over here covered in unit 1, that is this portion, this total comes out to be 40. This total comes out to be of 40 marks. So basically 10 marks has been reduced from here, and it is expected that it should be of 50 marks, but the total is coming out as 40 marks. So the paper is not covering all the topics as per the marks weightage of the CBSE syllabus. Another important point is when we talk about computer networks. You can see here in computer networks, there is one 5 marker question. There are 2 questions of 2 marks each, and there are 5 questions of 1 mark each. So that comes out as a 5. That comes out as a 5 plus 4 plus 5. That comes out at 14 marks. But yes, CBSE says that the weightage of 10 marks. If we consider that these 6 marks are floating marks or flexible marks, which we have a choice over here, so a little bit consideration may be given here. Okay, not following strictly 10 marks, it may be 10 or to 12 or 13, because 6 additional questions are there. Similarly, 6 additional questions are there, so a little bit relaxation may be given in MySQL, but this much huge gap is not possible. So be little careful while preparing for your board paper. Always be prepared for the tougher part. And if you get the paper as per the pattern given in by released by the sample paper, then you will be the lucky person. But what if the CBSE follows the pattern strictly as per the syllabus, and you prepare yourself just on the basis of sample paper? You will be on the very higher risk, and there are chances that you might feel the paper as difficult while attempting them in boards. So keep this difference in mind and be prepared that this difference has to be, that might be covered in your first unit, that is computational thinking in programming. Now coming on to file handling, I am not having any doubt about this portion. This is very well planned because they have covered everything. Text file handling, they have given it as a weightage of 3 marks. CSV file handling, they have given it in the form of a case study. So higher marks weightage is given to it, but yes, they are not expecting the student to write down the complete program, but they are asking the students different concepts, because CSV file handling has already been covered very forcibly in your projects. So relaxation is given here, so it is quite balanced. Binary file handling, because it's not being touched anywhere, so binary file handling is having the maximum weightage of 5 marks, and it's a compulsory question. Then a little bit portion of connectivity is being covered here in file handling. So file handling connectivity with the MySQL, 2 marker question is being covered here. So this portion is very clear, there is no doubt. Computer networks 5 marker question, MySQL 5 marker question, there is no doubt. Case studies 1 marker question of MySQL, there is no doubt. Obviously they will be planned like this only. Where are the chances of adjusting these 22 marks and 10 marks difference? The chances are in 1 marker questions only. There will be a chance of changing these marks in 1 marker. So be prepared ki, there will be a shift of marks from one unit to another unit just to balance this difference. Right? These topics are being mentioned here in sample paper, but there are various other topics also which are not covered in your syllabus. As I told you, sorting and searching techniques, there are very strong chances that if they are going to adjust these marks, these questions are definitely going to be added in your unit 1 paper, portion of the paper. So this is all about my analysis of the paper. This is my, definitely this is my personal opinion, but yes, whatever data is being displayed over here, whatever statistics has been displayed over here, this is all on the basis of sample paper which has been released by the CBSE. So all the best to the students, prepare well, and keep it in mind that the sample paper is just a sample. It is not the 100% a replica of what kind of paper is going to appear in board exams. Thanks for watching.